Welcome to reading lesson 77. Today we're going to read in our Pilgrim Boy book, chapter 14, entitled Scare in the Night. As you are getting your books, maybe you haven't grabbed your book yet. If you have, then awesome. I'm going to tell you some words to watch for as we are reading chapter 14. Furiously, scaring, intruder, chief corbetants, tragedies, and startling. Now, I want you to go ahead and open up your Pilgrim Boy book to page 83, which is the beginning of chapter 14, if you have not done so already. As you are finding your page, let me introduce the chapter here. Even though Edward worries about the trouble the pilgrims face, he knows there is still work to be done. So let's find out what happens when this brave boy is given a grown man's job. All right, hopefully you have found the page that has chapter 14, Scare in the Night, at the top of it. We're going to read the first two pages together, and then I'm going to have you read the rest of chapter 14 on your own. Then I want you to take a look at Google Classroom and be sure to fill out the main idea for chapter 14. Are you ready? All right, let's read together. Read aloud with me. Chapter 14, Scare in the Night. After the cornfields had been planted, the men took turns guarding them at night from the wolves. One night, Father did not return from a hunting trip to take his turn guarding the cornfield. "Can you do it, Edward?" asked Mother anxiously. "Can you stay awake?" Edward swallowed hard. Staying awake would not be hard. He would be much too frightened to sleep. He could not tell Mother about his fears, though. She would only worry. "Sure, I can stay awake," he said bravely. Mother handed him the musket. "Be very careful. When Father returns, he will come to relieve you." Edward slowly made his way out to the cornfield just as the sun was sinking in the west. He settled himself on the small platform his father had built for that purpose, whistling to keep up his courage. The sun slowly sank out of sight. Edward looked around fearfully. What lurked behind the trees that were now only dark shadows? Wolves? Indians? Every sound of the night made him jump nervously. The frogs croaked around him. That was a friendly sound that he liked. It reminded him of his pet at home. He wished he had brought Titus along to keep him company. He wondered about his frog. Did Titus want to run and play and croak with the other frogs? Was he lonesome? Did he hate being cooped up in the pen as Edward had hated being cooped up in the hold of the Mayflower? Would he rather be free? That's why they were here in the New World, to be free, especially to be free to worship as they pleased. Now that we are at the top of page 85, I want you to continue reading page 85 all the way through to page 88. Once you have finished reading the rest of chapter 14, then go on Google Classroom and answer the main idea for chapter 14, Scare in the Night. Happy reading.